go drop like rain, nigga, watch me hit those trees.
Hey, you like Naruto, so I don't have to tell you that it's just chock full, packed to the brim with filler. And it's not really that great. It's not like it's the worst, but you definitely don't sit through that on purpose, and at most it's something you fall asleep on or wake up to. But either way, out of the massive filler chunks Naruto has, it usually takes one or two main characters up to a handful of side characters we're familiar with, and then sends them to a place we've never been, and surrounds them with a new, slightly grayer cast of characters. And those characters only really matter for that filler arc. And after that, they kind of cease to exist. And for most of these characters, that's fine. They weren't really all that much alive in the first place. Like, most of these characters have maybe a few lines, some very limited screen time, and just the most empty outline of a personality you've ever seen. But sometimes, you'll get a character who you feel like maybe is a bit too good for filler. And Naruto has a few, so this might not be a one and done, but for this one, let's get into our first filler character. Now, we don't really get to see a lot of the village hidden in the sand. In fact, if you've never watched any filler, then the only time you've ever really seen the outside of a building in the sand village is when Deidara attacked the village and subsequently had to fight and capture Gaara. And speaking of Gaara, this character is actually pretty close to him. Of course, we're talking about Shira, who shows up in Shippuden episode 395, really late in the series, in a flashback of sorts, showing the time just after Gaara became Kazekage, and Shira is basically the Rock Lee of the village hidden in the sand. He is a taijutsu specialist who has no aptitude for ninjutsu. However, unlike Lee, Shira seems to be a bit more, serious, I guess is the word. I wanted to say cooler, but he ends up in Rock Lee's jumpsuit, and I can't tell if that's stupid or baller. But a wise man once said two things can be true, so I'll let it breathe. And because he's so proficient in it, Shira actually helped Gaara to become a better taijutsu user, and since other than him there's only one person in the series like that, he has to face off against Rock Lee and takes him all the way up to the 6th gate, which he does using the 7 heavenly breaths, which isn't really explained. He just kind of says release, and it's like a carbon copy of the 8 inner gates. He gets red skin and all. And though he does lose, and that makes sense, I can't help but think maybe this was wasted potential. Like, if there had been even just one other Saiyan team, he could have been on it and canon. And it's not like he has a particularly unique personality. He's Rock Lee shaved down for time. And because he doesn't have Guy as a mentor, Shira is way less power of youthy, we'll say. And though his personality is generic to say the very least, I feel like Shira has a good enough design and techniques that he could have been a canon character we see every once in a while. And I mean, we don't even interact with the one Saiyan team all that much, but it would have been nice if there were more than one team from every other village. But moving on to our next filler character, I gotta say, I think this guy has it. I don't know what it is, but he's got it. Idate Morino, who shows up in episode 102 of OG Naruto right after the search for Tsunade arc. And you might be thinking to yourself, I've heard the name Morino before. Or maybe you're not, but who cares what you're thinking, cause all the way back in the Chunin exams, before we even set foot into the Forest of Death, we meet a series of proctors, one of which presides over the written tests. His name is Ibiki Morino, so who is this filler character to this one-off canon character? Well, they're brothers, and you might be saying, well, I've never even seen that kid in the background. He must be like extreme filler to just show up like that. And you're kinda right, Idate does not live in the Leaf Village. In fact, Idate lives in the land of Tea. So you may be asking, how did Naruto even stumble into this kid? And just that, he kinda just meets him. And I'm not even gonna act like I watched this for the video, but I'm not sure if Naruto even learns that Idate is Ibiki's brother, or if he even remembers Ibiki. So throw it down in the comments if you know. But the reason Idate's in this video is because, for as bland and uninteresting as this kid is, I cannot help but think he should have been in a Naruto movie. And that's what I mean, he's got it. This kid is a star. Now, he's still boring, and Naruto movies suffer from their own brand of beige decisions, but Idate really gives off those big screen vibes, you know? But this last character, I'm not even gonna act like I have a reason for this one, but I will give a few. Showing up in episode 377 of Shippuden, Mecha Naruto is just the bee's knees. And again, I don't really have a reason for that, other than he's a robot designed to look like Naruto, and I could just see this getting so much more mileage in canon than it did in filler. Like, imagine the Leaf Village takes in Mecha Naruto, and different squads have to go on missions with him. I would actually watch that. Like, just imagine Tenten and Neji straight manning Lee and Mecha Naruto. I can't lie, that feels like top tier stuff. And not to mention, Mecha Naruto is on par with a real Naruto, was built by Orochimaru, can absorb tailed beast chakra, and was technically a member of the Akatsuki. Hell, I'd watch a whole series about Mecha Naruto, but those were some of the filler characters I thought deserved a way better lot in life than they got. What do you think? Who's your favorite filler character? Let me know down in the comments, and do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed the video. I hope you did, because I appreciate you watching, and until next time, peace.
That thunder on me clap, make a nigga think before he act. Have a nigga dying on his back, then we double back. Shooters leaving rubber where you at, that's why niggas never wanna match.